This is Bad Karma Wrestling.
Give me a hell yeah!
With no gimmick Nick Johnston.
It doesn't matter how you feel!
And David Double D Dykstra.
Good man. Alrighty. Wow, what a way to get started. To BK Dub, BK Dub.
Makes me laugh every time he does that stupid
I know, he
crap.
just holds it in. You hold it into the very end. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestling show, Bad Karma Wrestling. No gimmicks, Nick Johnston. Today, finally catching his breath. To my right, my tag team partner, Double D Dykstra. How you doing?
Face completely red. Andrew's having flashbacks from the last time we went to Amber's house together. What's up, Nick?
How we doing?
BK Dub in the house.
There we go. Glad I didn't have to perform mouth to mouth. Yeah, you're
Typically not.
Yeah?
I just cough a lot and then I'm good.
There we go. Hacking up a lung. There we go. Ready to roll. We're all set, ready to roll. We got jam-packed today. We're back from Mexico in the AEW realm, but unfortunately the WWE realm, we got to talk about Goldberg, excuse me.
No, you can call him that.
Yeah. A little bit, like I said, we're talking about a little bit of John Cena, because trying to build something up. We'll see if we can fix it. And then, of course, we got to put on the doctor's cap. Unfortunately, got some injuries all around. We got some stuff to talk about in WWE realm. Like I said, like I mentioned, AEW. Grand Slam Mexico was fun. I got some more stuff right
Great
there.
entrance.
Yeah.
Great entranceway for CMLL.
That was fun. That was,
in Mexico City. That was cool.
Nicely constructed. You saw that people were popping up from the side and then walking down the stairs as well as different way to get to. You know, a little bit of put away the doctor cap in the WWE section. We got to put on our lawyer gear, not only just for the Beast Mortos, what a week for him, but also apparently there's a lawsuit for old Moxley, so we'll get to that as well. And then, of course, Scotty's World. Oh, Scotty's World.
Listen, I'll be very honest with you. There's something that I do want to bring up to you when we get to AEW about the event that I found very humorous.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, no Frankie today, so it's just we don't have the two
Thank God. No, I'm joking, Frankie. Frankie said he might be here around 12:30 to do the show, the other show, but I'm not sure.
There you go. That'll work. Maybe do a little bit of blow the whistle later on. So, yeah, it won't be just like the Muppets, the two old guys sitting up in the corner heckling the entire time. We can have some peace and quiet in this bill. Just getting glaring stares from Scotty. It's my favorite. But in that case,
if it was intimidating at all, I'd be scared.
I know, right? Oh, my God. There we go. Uh-oh.
Hey, actually, our lower thirds might actually come in on time.
Oof. Might be spelled correctly, too.
Yeah. No, Andrew's horrible with spelling.
Oh, no.
When it comes to lower thirds.
I was trying to. Yeah. Again, but we all have our trade-offs. That's fine. That works for me. Well, anyways, unfortunately, the biggest trade-off, and I guess what we have to deal with for the next coming weeks or so. Saturday night's main event is planned. Unfortunately, can't believe they're even trying to compete this with All In, but nevertheless, they are. Goldberg.
It's gonna lose. It's gonna lose so hard.
Goldberg. What we were dreading the most is finally happening. It is real. This is true. Some of this stuff I can't even believe is real anymore. Honestly, we'll get to more of that. But
did Vince buy back the company and told nobody?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm sure. Sure something's in the works.
Oh, they'll come back from Night of Champions and Vince will have an announcement.
Yeah, truly, our worst nightmare has become true. Goldberg will face Gunther for the World Heavyweight title, Saturday night's main event. Is this anything more than 3 jackhammers, a spear, and like you were dreading also the no show, the no selling of a couple slaps, of a couple chest shots?
Oh, I'm gonna be very honest with you. The fact that they had Gunther back down sickens me.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too. On top of it, what was your takeaway from?
It was gross. It was
promo?
Stupid. How are you going to back down from that dude? He's 135 years old.
He missed the middle rope, had to use the bottom and then the middle rope to even get up after it, to do his whole celebration at the end. I also I'll put my tinfoil hat on. I'm gonna throw the conspiracy theory out there. to all the people that were saying, "Oh yeah, what a pop, Goldberg." Notice how they didn't go to a single fan shot when the Goldberg chants were going on?
Oh, are you conspiracy theorying piped in?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Then why? No, you can't, because they never went to a fan shot.
Not gonna lie, that's not a bad conspiracy theory.
I'm sure. Okay, to sit there and say no one was saying it. No, I'm pretty sure there was. Not enough for there to be that pop.
I'll guarantee
right away.
you, if they were saying it, they were over the age of 40.
Yeah, they were out of breath after the fourth or fifth one. There's no way they got through all those
Listen,
Goldbergs.
I'm 48 years old. My mouth wouldn't have been saying Goldberg. I'd have been like, oh, no.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they had enough of.
No.
OldBerg. That could also,
No.
like I said, that could also be misconstrued.
I think, my personal opinion, and I'll just say it right now, I think Goldberg's going to job.
Really?
I truly.
Sky's on the side too. Not
how
job
are you
necessarily.
going to? It's going to. What they're going to try and do is build Gunther back up at this
Okay.
point, because, like you said, him losing to Jay, you felt was not a good look.
Yeah.
I thought it was the right move at the time because
Losing that way was a bad look. He could have
losing
lost
that way, losing to his own submission, yes, and tapping out was a bad look.
As quick as he
I
did,
would have,
yes.
I would have liked to seen just a clean win via pin instead of the submission.
Yeah.
100%. That being said, I think this is trying to build Gunther back up into that guy again. But I'll be honest with you, the first no sell of a chop, I'm probably turning off the TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
Let's be real. I'm probably not watching this anyway.
to be fair,
Because-
yeah. Go ahead.
All in's on at the same
Yeah.
time.
Exactly.
Sorry. No. There's you're going to get people there in Atlanta because it's freaking Goldberg and that's his hometown.
Yeah.
But other than that, no.
Yeah. And the
And
way that it'll be set up for me, myself and my buddies, we'll have on the projector, my buddy's place, we'll have all in, and then the lower 2/3, lower screen, there'll probably be some sort of sports, and then Saturdays nights main
I'll be
event, so
very real.
it'll be on.
I'll be very,
No
very,
sound though.
very honest with you. This is what scares me the most. He did an interview with Van Vliet
Yeah.
and said he's been working closely with Braun Breaker. No, stop. Whatever you're doing, no. Don't touch that kid.
The only thing, if you're gonna give him any advice, maybe teach him how to work as a big guy. But other than that,
I don't think.
But that's
see,
not
to
even.
me,
That's not really even his style, anyway.
I put Braun, if you're going to have anybody work with him, I'd have Brian Cage work with him. Because those two are just weird
If you can
freak.
ever stay healthy, but yeah.
Weird freak athletes that do things that the people that big shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, but nevertheless, yes, unfortunately, this is happening. Thank God it's not happening in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's very true. Overall, I mean, again, I just don't understand. It's not warranted in any way. Like how it storyline, it makes no sense. Like he can just walk in, demand a title shot.
Did you see Gunther's tweet?
No.
Goldberg throughout the "you're next," and he goes, "Yeah, I've got 3 minutes."
Oh, that was forever ago, right?
I don't care. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's great.
So yeah, so I guess like I said, there is history. I understand, but like I said, logically, it just makes no sense. Even if Gunther like wanted to throw out maybe some sort of challenge that could have even like maybe
Who on Raw
loosely
right now?
made sense.
My question to you is though, who on Raw right now has the steam enough to warrant it? It'd have to be Jey Uso with his rematch clause.
I mean,
Other than
yeah.
that, though, but who has steam on Monday night?
Is LA Knight on SmackDown or Raw?
We can
he's
talk.
on
We can talk about that because there are grumblings that he's headed to Raw.
Okay, so that would be good. I don't know. Like I said, with the whole
are you
brand
gonna
split.
advocate for LA Knight too now?
Yeah. Feels like he's the only one that really has steam.
Bravo, sir.
Yeah,
That
I
was
mean,
good.
between him or McIntyre, but isn't McIntyre on the shelf now too? Or am
I haven't
can't
heard.
remember. Okay. Yeah, at that point, yeah, it's kind of between that Uso, and like I said, unless McIntyre wants to pop back in, I would have to see what's up with that. But yeah, overall, like I said, I don't really know anyone over the age of 40 that's really like popping for this, demanding this, needing this, wanting this in any sort of way. Like
I mean, he is the reason I have this tribal tattoo.
What tribe you in?
Tribal was cool.
That answers that.
Mid 90s.
Yeah.
I'll never get rid of that. That's my first.
There you go. That's fine.
Weibel?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right, that's nice.
Yeah, it's just this is gonna be brutal. This is gonna be absolutely brutal. I'm curious to see what way they go, and then overall, like I said, just again,
I will take back every bad thing I've said about Gunther if he can carry this match and make it look good.
I think he can. Like I said, there's no way they go over 6 minutes. There's no way. I'll give it 5.
I give it 10.
Okay.
I'll give it 10.
From bell to bell, 5 minutes. I'm giving it 5.5 minutes over under. There's no way I'm hitting that. I'm slamming that under. Yeah. Hammering that under. Either way, on to other things, on to other storylines, I suppose.
You're so down about this. You're so disenchanted over this.
I mean, truly, it bugs me. Like it's just kind of like it's a waste. Like it's very
Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
and it's sick. It's very bad.
It's bad creative. It's a bad look. And like I said, no one wants this. I don't know anyone that truly needs or wants this. Okay, fine. I know one person, and that's my brother's, like, one of his best friends of all time, and that's like just because he's a diehard Goldberg fan, and anything he does, Goldberg can do no wrong in his eyes. That's the one person that I know for sure.
The last decent match he had was him and Bobby, right?
I suppose so.
Or no, that was Brock and Bobby.
Well, apparently, according to Busted Open, he's had 5 matches in the last 5 years. He's lost 4 of them. So,
well, and the other one was I don't know
when he beat Bray, when he beat
Brock,
the Fiend.
No, he beat Brock.
Okay,
he beat Brock.
Okay, that's right.
He spear, then his little suplex. And he beat Brock in a squash match.
Yep.
I don't know how much they paid Brock to do that, but I'd love to know the number on that.
I mean, it was probably very early in the card too, so he can get home early as well. Quick shower and go. Off to Minnesota, off to tend to the farm.
I'm sure Vince gave him quite a prize for that, allegedly.
We'll see about that. Oh man. Well, yes, that is.
Allegedly.
Like I said, we got about a little less than a month to, I guess, mentally prepare still.
WWE was very down this week.
It's been down for a bit, man, honestly. Like, the steam has kind of gone away with a couple of subpar decisions again. Well, I would kind of put my hand up and argue that this is kind of also the reason, because this John Cena heel run's been pretty subpar. It's been pretty mid. I want to give a mid. I want to put the mid in. This puts the mid in midterm grade. What's been going on with this Cena run? Can we make this any better? Do you think it's been a fine?
I don't think it's been great. I don't think it's been bad either.
I think it's been pretty bad.
Promos
overall.
have been outstanding. Promos have been absolutely outstanding.
And yeah, again, that's his bread and butter talking. He is an actor now.
What,
so
you think, did you honestly, listen.
Him taking acting classes to enhance that probably, like I said, definitely helps.
Right now, I'm telling you,
that's not throwing
Night
shade.
of Champions, unless it's like 120 in Saudi, which very well could be at night, that match with him and Punk is going to go at least 30.
You think so? From bell to bell, 30 minutes, or are you thinking
20?
Okay,
20 bell to bell.
That
Well,
could be
I
more. That
mean-
could be more. That could be more the case. I can understand that. But again, like you know, even our truth match.
His
was only
Orton
5
match
minutes.
was above average.
Okay.
Him and Randy were phenomenal. I think he and Punk have that same kind of chemistry, so it's going to be very much late 1990s, early 2000s. Here they come. Or actually, I guess it was early 2000s, mid 2010. But they always had a great connection.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it'll be a lot of the same stuff we've seen before. But no, I wouldn't listen.
None of this feels forced at all. The way that he comes out and does the like again. This isn't.
I actually love the way they introduce him now. It is hilariously great.
Doing the extra. Yeah, doing the extra at the beginning. Or I forgot exactly what they say, but for the last time. Yeah.
It's solid.
Yeah.
It's solid.
Like I said, that's where I would counter. I think that's kind of where the forceness comes in. Where 10 years ago you could have actually had a legit heel run when he was legitimately getting boos. Now they want to cheer him on the way out because it's his last run.
You're gonna get a switch eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that being said, to me, like in the introduction, when they say the city's name and it's his last time there, and he bows just to piss people off, there's some good. There's some solid stuff going on with John Cena and his heel run. There's also been some really bad, a.k.a. R-Truth. I love the man. I think he's iconic for what he does. But what are we going to get on Monday?
Mm-hmm. I'm not quite sure because I'm not really sold on.
The man's down to 16 dates now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not quite sold on what we're gonna get. It's not another non-title. It's for the title, right? No.
I don't.
Okay.
Saturday.
So again,
Friday. Nick, I told you how it's going.
It's Monday, homie.
Friday. No, the one with R-Truth.
Is it tonight?
It's tonight.
has he done a point and look at how many dates are left yet?
Yeah, he did it literally last week.
I did. Okay.
I told you how tonight's going.
What is it?
R-Truth is going to win because CM Punk's going to screw over John Cena, and they're going to do Pipe On 2.0 to hit the nostalgia points.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. Gotta sell nostalgia. Solid. Remember this? Remember this promo? Remember this guy?
I don't necessarily.
Remember her? Remember Nikki Bella? Remember this? Remember this pay-per-view?
You want to talk about a cluster? We're going to get into that. Let's get into that right now because the next thing that you want to talk about.
Last thing I'll say about Cena really quick is I
Okay.
have to agree about the one post. It was very quick, but when he did turn his hat around, I have to agree. It made him 20 years younger. He needs to come out and start. He needs to just do the hat turned around. It looks fine. It looks better.
Is that why I look so young? Because I always wear my hat backwards?
Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, you can be the judge for yourself. Quick.
We are
quick
the same
close-up.
age, and I think I look 100 times better
Do
than
hat
he
forward.
does.
Do hat forward. Hat forward. Close up. Close up. Close up. Close up. Hat forward. Now turn around. Turn around. Now you tell me, ladies and gentlemen, does that now look like a much more youthful Double D right there?
I'm just saying, we're the same age. No, scratch that. He's a day older than me.
Okay. Then you're also.
I also don't go into the tanning beds. So
Then you're also the same age as the guy that plays the brother in Hannah Montana. Okay.
this skin right here does not work well in a tanning bed.
Okay.
Just
fair
putting
enough.
it out there, people.
It's not meant for everybody. It's not meant for everybody. So I mean, this kind of does relate somewhat to Liv Morgan, not her injury, but I guess we can quickly talk.
Oh,
about
it does relate to her injury.
the Nikki Bella appearance. That was now 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well,
Everything is screwed for Evolution 2. They're having to rewrite the whole effing show. Sorry. Oh, yeah, by the way, congratulations to Rob Van Dam, who's having twins with his wife.
Congrats.
What the hell, dude? You're 10 years older than me. And you're about to have twins? Twins, Basil.
Yeah.
Twins.
He's wheeling and dealing still. That's okay. When when he's still as flexible as he is, he can get by.
No,
He'll be fine.
this live injury has literally through a huge, not just an Evolution 2, but like 6 months down the road plans that I think they had for Live.
Seems that way.
So they're having to rewrite everything.
Now, I saw initially it was about 4 to 6 weeks she could probably be out and at least rehabbing. I haven't seen an update on how long. You told me as
Wrestling
long
Observer Radio's Dave. Now this is Meltzer, but expects that Liv Morgan will be out of action for 6 months or more as a result of the shoulder surgery she needs after being injured on Raw, which tells me that it's a torn labrum.
Ugh. Yeah.
It's the same exact thing that Rhea had to go through.
Now I'm seeing. Now this is 2 days ago. Now Cage Side Seats says worst case scenario is shoulder surgery. So.
Well, I guess she's having it.
Yeah. Again, like I said, within your post was probably a day ago.
No.
No?
This morning.
I was just, okay. Exactly.
This is
So
off the
even,
dirt sheets.
Even more recent. That's even better. So yeah, this like I said, this was about 2 days ago. So that could have been definitely a big update in between.
June
so
20th.
yeah, overall that's just it was almost right away. It was like right away. They cut away. They had an early commercial break. And sure
Such
enough,
a routine. I thought it was her
yeah.
elbow.
Yeah.
I thought it was her elbow when it
Yeah.
first happened because she came down on her elbow and it looked all squished.
And they didn't go frame by frame. They did replay it, but it was only after I saw it online that finally you see how it's completely out of place, out of socket. Yeah, it was a very brutal dislocation that probably could have turned into torn. Exactly right, like you
Torn
said, torn labrum, something, any sort of muscle that's up there. Absolutely brutal. Like I said, this of course the internet had its way, and Rhea Ripley stepped in and said what the biggest quote from her tweet was, just don't celebrate an injury. It's disgusting behavior. It's absolutely correct. And for anyone, exactly right, like you just mentioned, routine move, right? Like just kind of just a takedown as they usually do.
Was nothing any other wrestler hasn't done a bajillion
Nothing
times.
malicious that Kairi Sane was doing, and yes, was it maybe excessive when she was running the ropes afterward? I wouldn't even say no. I wouldn't say.
I don't think
wouldn't say
she
yes.
knew exactly what happened.
That could be the case one, and then exactly right. She's excited. That's her character, being the happy heel or happy face.
Well, she's trying to keep people entertained too.
That
while
too,
the doctors
exactly.
attend to Live.
So I don't know if it was exactly just because she was running the ropes. Some people were making memes out of that, making jokes out of it. But yeah, for her to sit, for anyone to
you trolls.
Yeah, for anyone to sit there and blame Kairi Sane for that, that's just absolutely ridiculous. That's.
I mean, 2 wrestlers have gone out on Kairi saying.
You were possibly
Matches, no.
saying maybe.
If
turn
I'm the
into
WWE, I lean into this and I eat her worlds. I don't know what you want to call her.
You might be right. Vince McMahon might be back. If that's the case.
I'm just saying, like, lean into it. The whole reason the whole Legend Killer thing came about for Randy Orton is because he put 2 big-time veterans on the shelf by accident.
Yeah.
Lean into it. Let her turn into whatever she needs to turn into.
Yeah. We'll
Give her a submission hold that hurts people.
We hurt people. We hurt people.
And go with it.
Man, MJF skier is the best right now. So, taking our doctor's cap off, now headed into a partner, like I said, a partnership. Now that if we're going to talk AAA, we got to put in the WWE segment that are a little hand in hand now. This past, was it AAA Mania? I'm not quite. Yeah. So El Hijo del Vikingo was getting booed. He was getting booed. They weren't saying boo earns. They were not saying boo earns or boo Hio. They were getting booed.
Or Bootista?
Yeah, no Blutista. Did not have Alberto Del Rio getting cheered on my bingo card this year, or maybe just not exactly cheered. Him just not getting.
Mexico doesn't care about assault.
That's a tough one.
Allegedly.
Okay.
No, I think
It's not a safety net.
This is what I will truly. That was a joke. I will say this. I think he has built up such a fan base in Mexico over the last 2 decades that those fans feel like he was done dirty by the WWE.
Del Rio, you're talking about?
Yeah, Del Rio was done dirty by WWE by pretty much stripping him of the title by letting Vikingo win the title back.
Mm-hmm.
I blatantly disagree. Any man who puts his hands on a woman allegedly. No, wait. It's not allegedly. He spent time in jail for this stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Any man who puts his hands on a woman doesn't deserve boo in this life.
Yeah, well, he didn't get booed. The Vikingo got booed.
I know. Yes. And that's, to me, that's the sad state sometimes of this industry, that they are so quick to forget about things like that happening. I always preface when people ask me who my favorite wrestlers of all time were, I preface me saying Chris Benoit by saying wrestling only.
Yeah.
I do not condone what he did outside of wrestling in the slightest.
Well, again, it's you gotta go. If you're talking to anyone that's like beyond like the 80s, even the probably early 90s too, it always comes with exactly that. You're like, in ring only because I know he did this, or he did that, or behind the scenes he was kind of a not so very nice, or he was he was a little bit of a pillhead.
Not a nice.
Yeah, some stuff like that. So it's yeah, exactly that. Because
what do you got, Scotty?
Because some people still have Jimmy Snuka as their favorite wrestler. What do you got, Scotto?
I'm just saying, you say he's got a fan base there, but isn't this the guy that literally went into the crowd a couple months ago and started attacking people and got suspended and fined by AAA?
That was a work. That was a work. That was a work. They did it in TNA, too. Eric Young just ripped some dude out of the crowd and started beating the crap out of him.
A little different. He went into the crowd and was attacking multiple people. I think it's a little bit of a different situation.
All right.
I can't remember off the top of my head who did what first. I don't believe that was a work. I think that was an actual fan trying to fight him.
Whatever.
I would have to remember.
But once again, that just leans into the fact that, dude, he is a freaking stick of dynamite that could go off at any moment.
Yeah, I know. I don't know who got booed worse. It was either him or Atlantis Jr. on Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Nepotism. I looked into it. Nepotism.
Oh, we'll talk about it later.
Fans
Apparently,
we'll talk about it later.
Nepo hire.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, El Vikingo getting booed. That was the big hipper hoorah online. People were going crazy.
No one cares.
Also in the online world, finally, in the podcasting realm, we'll get to this one really quick. R.I.P. 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway and his other co-host. Welcome in 6 Feet Under with The Undertaker. Sponsored by Fanatics. With new co-host, you guessed it, Michelle McCool.
This is a legitimate question. Does he not think that Michelle has enough behind her to do her own stuff?
I don't know, but she's starting her own streak now. 2-0 now against Mark's former coworkers.
She took out Mickey James like she was a piece of trash. And who was his co-host on? I don't even know.
I'll figure that out. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, he's trying to push her so hard. I'll guarantee. Well, there are rumors. There are rumors out there. Now, take it for what it is. Conan said this.
Matt Lyda, I believe his name. Yeah, replace Matt Lyda. Matthew Lyda.
Conan said that Taker was in Gorilla
For
helping with creative.
this past week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And has heard that he wants to get more involved with creative.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Now, to me, I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing because Taker knows the business and he knows how to take the fans on a journey. He truly does. He's Mount Rushmore in my eyes. Greatest big man of all time.
You're forgetting he's the inaugural LFG champion.
Inaugural what?
LFG champion. That show that they did, he was the
he is
coach
the
that won
champion.
it.
His dude did win it.
No, he won the best coach.
I know, because his dude won it.
That's my thoughts.
I did. Yeah, I'll be very honest with you. I did Taker push for her to get into the Hall of Fame? Like, all these questions have to come up now. Because
we've brought them up before.
I
Which
didn't.
Now it just kind of has more and more steam, more and more evidence.
I'm gonna be very honest with you. I think Michelle McCool is a Hall of Famer on her own.
I don't know. I don't know. I think initially I
On the women's side, who was more influential at that time when that division was dead to rights? She's the only person that kept that. Her and
Natty
Layla.
Neidhart, Melina.
And I'm sure Melina's going to get hers, too, eventually.
But like I said, even though, like, yes, influential at the time, but, like, to sit there, and that wasn't a great time at all for women's wrestling.
No,
That was
I'm not saying it was, but they at least made it entertaining.
To a degree, yes, yeah.
I know you don't like the women's.
That's not entirely true. I guess I'm the only one that sits here and vouches for Mercedes Moné. We'll get to that later, too. But, yeah.
Having another horrible match?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, be jealous, CEO. Drinks your tears. Like I said, I was never really a listener to the 6 Feet Under podcast with Mark Calloway. I don't think I'll be a listener to 6 Feet Under with The Undertaker, sponsored by Fanatics. So it just, yeah, not really in that realm. I enjoy the clips that pop up from time to time. You know, he's had some good guests here and there. I think that Godfather episode was pretty decent. Like I said, I'll
the
pop
Godfather episode was great because Godfather was spilling tea.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Necessarily tea that the Undertaker didn't want out there.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure he was maybe sipping on some bubbly, or probably getting into his own antics beforehand.
I'm pretty sure Godfather has his own weed strain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, making that.
Yeah,
Kind of just
pretty sure. I know, but why not? What's going to happen if we say the word weed?
No, I was just trying to be creative.
Chong going to show up? Please, God.
No, I was
Please,
just
God.
trying
Weed.
to have
Weed.
some fun with it. But yeah, nevertheless, I don't think, like I said, probably not going to be a new listener coming from me on my end. So, anything else to get to on the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT side of things? Anything
Let me give you some rumors, sir. I want to get your reaction.
All right, sure, shoot.
According to Bodyslam.net, there have been pitches in WWE to add Ethan Page and Ricky Saints to Seth Rollins' new stable on Raw.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Here's my thing, and this is kind of where I'm coming from. I think Ethan makes sense.
Yeah, Ethan does make sense.
Ricky, I think you stifle him if you put him in a faction.
I think that could be the case, where Ricky can probably do it, be on his own. Ethan is more of a supporting cast member, even though he can kind of be, he's very good on the mic.
Learn under Paul Heyman.
That could be fun.
I think it could take Ethan Page to the next level.
I like that he brought that up. Like, he's really good on the mic. Look at, like, how Braun Breaker is and how Bronson Reed are right now, where they don't really get that time to talk. I feel like although Ethan Page fits in perfectly, you might be taking him a little bit of a step back too. I understand he's going to be learning under Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, but his best is when he's on the mic too.
I'll say this. I'll say this much to you: if this were to happen, and Ethan Page becomes part of this, he might end up being that breakout star from that faction.
Ethan Page.
I don't think.
Yeah. No,
I don't think Page is tapped into 70% of what he's capable of doing.
If you give him enough time on the mic, like you kind of mentioned, and he can kind of play his own storyline, he can maybe even be the sympathetic face that comes out of it, comes out of the whole thing. Because Seth, why not? How he could.
I don't know. I just haven't seen it. I just really like what he does.
Oh yeah, no, he's only done heel work since he's walked in the WWE doors.
Face, him being a face, his face stuff's pretty good if you go back and watch TNA.
Yeah, exactly. Well, do that little thing.
WrestleVotes Radio was told that more than a handful of people in WWE are pushing for LA Knight to move over to the Raw roster, where his presence on Netflix could be seen as a refreshing change.
That could help. That could definitely help. I guess I feel as though LA Knight. I feel like LA Knight can do no wrong. So, but if you want to bolster up more views on Netflix, which apparently that's, I guess, been some sort of an issue.
It's been lower.
Been lower since the premiere. That's kind of what usually happens, anyways.
Well, they had a nice steady viewership for about 2 months.
Are they basing that off of like initial live views or just like overall?
I think
like
overall
replays
views,
and everything like that. I mean, because it's like I'll throw on Raw on replay just because that's when I come home from work.
Don't stay up that late.
Yeah,
I'm an old man.
And apparently, like I don't know if that's in your room reel too. Apparently, confirmed SmackDown to 2 hours at around August, I believe. I don't know the exact date. Okay, gotcha. So
I heard early rumors were July, but
Nick, did you see the name of the show?
A new show.
So the reason why they're changing it is because USA is going to have a new show at that time slot at 9 o'clock. It's called The Rainmaker.
Ah, okay.
Oh, look, he just perked up there. He just perked up when he heard that.
Glad Okada's getting his own reality show.
Nothing to do with Okada.
It has nothing to do with Okada.
All right, this one I found interesting. The outlet also mentioned that WWE has significant interest in making Psycho Clown a permanent part of the main roster.
Okay, good for the clown. There you go.
Gail Kim was backstage at NXT.
I heard that, yes.
And Jordan Grace's new theme song in NXT was done because they feared it sounded too the beginning sounded too similar to Braun Breakers.
Yeah, I heard the sirens were too similar or something like that. So that's very interesting. And to go back on the Gail Kim thing, good timing, especially with Evolution right around the corner. So, yeah.
Gonna have to rewrite that. And the only other thing was kind of like WWE adamantly again are going to be about owning their own theme songs because Grace owned her theme song.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's about it.
I know Metro Boomin's begging to get a new Ron Killings song. So
he's also working in collaboration with a big time artist for a new Seth Rollins theme song. Sick. Which if it doesn't hit, people are going to freak out.
Somewhat related to Rollins. Well, very much related to Rollins, kind of, because they're married. But Becky Lynch coming out with the Bears gear in Green Bay.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, just
fantastic.
Bear down. That's all I got to say. Yeah. Well, if we're all good on the WWE side of things, we can take her on down, go across the border, and head on into Mexico, because AEW Grand Slam Mexico. That's what we'll be talking about next here over on Bad Karma Wrestling when we return.
Throughout the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, Judy Finelli established herself as a masterful juggler and performer, making appearances everywhere from Carnegie Hall to Sesame Street. With her loving heart, she has brought warm smiles to children everywhere she has performed. She even started the San Francisco School for the Circus Arts, but shortly after, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and by 2004, she was completely paralyzed. In celebration of her accomplishments and to fight the illness that had crippled Judy, a group of students from the San Francisco Clown College have compiled the perfect holiday present for those who want to laugh and to help those struggling with the illness. The goal has been set at $1 million raised, with 100% of any dollar made to be donated to the Judy Finelli Fund, which is helping find a cure to multiple sclerosis. Visit www.circuscenter.org to make a donation or to purchase a framed naked clown photo or the full Naked Clown 12-month calendar. Remember, 100% of every dollar is donated and goes to fighting MS.
Man, I'm so hungry. I need somewhere to eat fast. I have no idea where to go.
Psst. Hola, me llamo El Taco de Taco. You know where to go for the amazing taste that'll have you craving more? Taco Bell.
All right, can I get 20 tacos, please?
You got it.
Thanks, Taco.
De nada.
Good. That's it. Eat the tacos.
Taco Bell. Live más.
This is Bad Karma Wrestling
Give me a hell yeah.
with No Gimmick Nick Johnston
It doesn't matter how you feel.
and David Double D Dykstra.
Hola to Mal Karma Wrestling. Luchador.
What are you trying to be, Hangman
I am not
Page?
Hangman Adam Page, clearly. But man, oh man, the Grand Slam
I
Mexico.
got a year.
Yeah, no, I took 4 years of Spanish. I know you can't tell, in the slightest.
I took 4 years of French,
That's
and I was
just,
fluent,
That's just public.
and I
public,
can't speak
high
a
school
word of
for
it.
ya.
It would take. Yes, I could. Give me a month, and I could get back there. But
Okay.
of like purely diving into French culture again.
Those synapses will snap back in. You'll
Hopefully.
get to flying. There you go.
Hope
Well,
I'm
there we
not
are.
that old, man.
You'll get back into gear. But there you go. Like I said, not the most fluent, like I said, but I could definitely pick up on a couple of key words.
Yeah.
Biblioteca. Best of Grand Slam Mexico. Was it a couple, like I said, exactly right. Was it Spanish-speaking Hangman? Was it the sing-along songs with Mystico? Was it Six Belt CEO? Or was it, well, the only thing you didn't see on TV, Bryan Danielson returning, the American Dragon?
By the way,
Probably the biggest. That was the only, maybe real, true
Did-
down point.
did you know Sin Cara was that over?
Yeah, well,
No.
I didn't know personally.
I
No.
knew he was a star in Mexico. I knew Mystico was a star in Mexico. I didn't realize it was that.
And to make the point, yes, Excalibur had said how over they were, talked about that in the commentary, so I kind of heard that. So yeah, I guess I didn't know, I'd never heard the song, but man, oh man, they sang it out the rooftop. That was pretty good.
Bro, where was this dude? He was younger though. Like
little
he
bit.
was 20s when he came to the WWE.
There was a lot of buzz when Sin Cara when first showed up. But again, it was the presentation. It was the why are you making him jump off a trampoline into the ring? Why are you making this weird lighting? The language barrier didn't help between some wrestlers, so that's why the matches were a little wonky. But if you go back, he's had a couple of good matches within his WWE
had a couple.
run. Yeah, but exactly right.
But it's not a good look when you break your finger and tell him you can't wrestle.
Yeah, that's tough. But overall, yeah, this was a great presentation. Match was fun. I wish the ending was a little bit better. It was, a little the heelish thing that, of course, was I guess the goal was to rip off his mask and really just disrespect it. And I guess if that was the goal, mission accomplished in that sense, to the point where, MJF got attacked, but
Outside his hotel,
yeah.
someone came at him.
Yeah.
And I will say this, anybody who's watching, no one has had heel heat like MJF since the Dudley Boys.
Oh, yeah, Dudley Boys like Heat Wave 95, 99.
No
whatever it
one
was.
has had heat like that.
That's true. To the point where it's like, Like, it's definitely down there. It's still real to me, damn it. Like, it's one of those. Yeah, quote from MJF. Like, he says he's proud of the altercation, actually. And I would be too.
Tells me you're doing your job.
Exactly right. Like, am I the devilish heel? Am I the heel that everyone? Yeah, clearly so. Because I was met at the hotel by fans, a fan or two, and sure enough, yeah. I don't know if fisticuffs were exchanged.
The bodyguards that he had around him took care of it.
There you
quickly,
go.
From
That
what I
helps.
understand.
That helps. That
Andrew,
helps a ton.
how'd it go? Did you break it up quickly?
Made sure.
See.
No, no say. Yeah. But on that note, like I said, yeah, MJF attacked at the hotel. It's still real. The couple fans down there. It was nice overall. Yeah, like I said, the wrestling was traditional to a couple of different things. The
Like I said,
man,
I was
the 10-man.
I was worried about the 14-man, just because that's a lot of dudes.
Yes, there was a lot of meat in the ring.
And you worry about the cohesiveness of everything. And let me just bring up right now, and I'm sure you noticed this. I audibly laughed out loud during MJF's match. That man could not get under the bottom rope to save his life. Those ropes were so tight. So tight.
I didn't notice. No.
Oh, go back and watch
I'll
it.
have to, yeah.
Every time he tries to roll out of the ring, his shoulder hits the bottom rope. And I'm like, well, and that bottom rope for them is lower than where it is in regular wrestling rings.
Oh, okay.
I'd say it's a good 2 inches, 3 inches lower.
Gotcha. Okay.
So every time he went to roll out of the ring, wonk, he'd get caught up in the ropes. I'm like, oh my God.
He's a little
but
wide.
Did you notice how tight those ropes were?
No, not really. Well,
Listen
it
to
made-
when they hit the
Shivani
ropes.
had made mention how tight the mat was, basically. It's a stiff mat.
The mat was stiff. The ropes were stiff as hell. If you listen and to when anybody hits the ropes, you can literally hear it go, and you're like, ooh. And you can see it. There was no giving those ropes at all.
Well, yeah, overall, like I said, just the show itself, the first time an American-based wrestling company has done a live show, a taped live show, TV live show from the Mexico Arena, so I thought that was pretty cool.
That's
as well.
cool. That's
Yeah.
that's a cool thing for them to lynch on to,
Yeah,
for sure. I'll give them
absolutely.
I'll give AEW credit where credit's due. That and by far a solid show.
Yeah.
You're telling me WWE or any other company has never done a pay-per-view from Mexico, really?
Not from Arena, Mexico, no.
No,
Just from
No.
Arena, Mexico? Or?
And they probably had a show there. They never had a live taped show there.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
actually kind
They
of
probably they may have had a
surprising.
house show there. I would have to go back and make sure, but
I don't even know. I think CMLL has like
they had like
right.
they locked it down. Yeah.
It's like WWE in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Wow.
It could be
Kinda
that
thing.
case, yeah.
That's very surprising.
Yeah. But like I said, going back to the very beginning, Spanish-speaking Hangman, according to Brian Alvarez, they are overjoyed, CMLL is. They want him for a couple of dates solely because of his Spanish speaking.
Why not?
I mean, yeah.
And if I'm Hangman, yes.
to again, add it to any of those that were sitting there exactly right. If you took your 4 years of Spanish like I did in my, like, I'll never use this later in my life. But add that to your resume, because clearly, like I said, that they just booked up a couple of dates right there.
Made
Got him
himself some money.
yeah, made him some dinero, some mucho dinero. See, we're getting there. We're getting back. call me CMLL. I'll do some commentary for you. Yeah, there you go. You're getting there. Yeah. Mucho
Viva
bueno.
la Mexico!
Exactly. Any thoughts? Exactly. Well, I know what your thoughts are. 6 belts for CEO, but that turned into Tony Storm at the end.
That was okay. Like her getting that belt, you knew it was coming. She wasn't going to go there and job, especially building up to a match with Tony Storm. That vignette was awesome. And then she comes out looking like Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah.
Where in the world is timeless Tony Storm?
That's great. That's great.
She rumbles in the east. No.
And then finally, to save Blue Panther, Bryan Danielson comes out. Of course, after it was off air, that I guess again that would probably be the biggest down
Which
point for
leads
the
me
entire
to
show.
believe that he may be lying about not being able to get into the ring for months.
He took a back bump. took a back bump.
He's not full time anymore, so
Yes.
he might show up here and there.
I think that was also the thing where, if I'm vouching for him in any sort of way, that would be the thing where they probably didn't want to put it on TV to have that hope, like, oh, he is coming back. He's gonna have another run. No, it's just a quick thing for everyone in the arena.
Do you know what I'll equate this to?
Sure.
Edge doing the spear.
Okay.
On was it Elias?
Could have been.
When they had Edge Night in Toronto.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, maybe could have been.
He did the spear just to see how it felt, and then got his ass reamed by Beth backstage for doing something that he didn't tell her that he was going to do.
Yes, Glamazon. I'll listen.
But that being said, to me, this was a tester.
Sure.
Let me see how my neck feels. Let me see how my back feels after doing this.
Okay. Yeah. Any other big takeaways from Grand Slam Mexico? Anything from the main event, the final back and forth? Moxley and Hangman sitting in the ring. Anything?
I'll tell you one thing I don't like.
Sure.
I don't like that Okada's part of the Don Callis family.
But is he really? Hajacero's now the part of the Don Callis family.
That I love. I think anytime they go to like a new territory, whether it be New Japan, just like Bullet Club and all that, you pick somebody and everybody's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. You go up to Canada, you get the, somebody from that's just hot on the indies and have him join the Don Callis family. Hell yeah, let's go. Yeah. I have no problem with it. There's some things that I
like how obnoxiously big the Don Callis family is getting. Like it's like 12 or 13 people.
It's gonna be Bullet Club. It's gonna be Bullet Club, and it's gonna fracture.
And I think Don Callis, when you're family, it's for life. Family.
Well, if that's true, Will Ospreay's gonna screw over Swerve.
I don't know. That could be the case.
That being said,
that's been a weird. Some people have said that's kind of been a weird dynamic too, of like what is Will and Will and Swerve's kind of relationship, and then also kind of divert that into Swerve and Hangman's friendship thing. So people kind of been.
It's a weird dichotomy.
Yeah, it is.
That being said, no. Overall, I was very pleasantly surprised. No, am I going to sit here and say that Mercedes Moné's match burnt the house down? No, it was solid for what it was. Speedball and Knight continue. You can do it all you want. You can support her all you want.
The 4 million pesos to hologram.
They are trying so effing hard to get him over. And unless it's in Mexico, I don't think he gets cheered.
It could be the case. Like I said, it's just
to me, not to interrupt you. No. To me, he's AEW's version of Aerostar.
Sure. Like I said, they've tried. They've at least tried. It's just they haven't hit exactly. It's just like what his hologram like we can't. It is just another luchador, unfortunately. If he had some sort of other gimmick, if he had like any other background or something for me to like, I don't know what they say if he's not from parts unknown, but he's just hologram guy with a mask, and it's a very generic mask. If that kind of looks like the Kick-Ass mask. You ever see Kick-Ass? It just looks like that.
Not wrong.
Yeah,
not wrong.
$60 over on Shop AEW.
No, to me, solid stuff.
It was a hot crowd. It was a very hot crowd. I hope they end up doing a pay-per-view down there, because they'll get hopefully similar numbers in terms of that. I don't know if they'll could have run it back into the Arena Mexico, but nevertheless, a showdown in Mexico, maybe even a pay-per-view could be in the works. That would be pretty solid. Moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on. Cool. Some quick. I guess some rumor mills that are happening.
Go ahead.
Britt Baker.
Poo all over Coachman.
The coach. Britt Baker not currently in talks with WWE at the moment. I'm sure she will down the line, but kind of like, kind of egg on Jonathan Coachman's face. Confirmed liar, as, jokes for sure. But
Now, can I ask you,
yes.
where did you get this from?
Where did I get?
That she's not in negotiations with WWE. Just because her contract's not up doesn't mean she's not in negotiations.
I think it was from Fightful.
Okay.
I'll have to double check, but it was from, I believe it was from Wrestle Ops, not Wrestle Oops, which is some people have been getting. AJ Styles included have been getting NBA. You had to ban it. I was thinking about that because I'm like halfway. I'm like I'm either gonna get and like basically the equivalent to NBA Sentinel. I'm gonna either get Sentineled or I'm gonna get oopsed, and I'm gonna send that to you and be like, I can't believe what this just said, but some of them are just so obnoxious that I look at them like, yeah, this is of course a Wrestle Oops. Like, this is the other one about Swerve Strickland. It was just like unprompted, like, yeah, sometimes you need to make chemistry. That's why me and Hangman used to kiss before our show, our matches. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's just that's ridiculous. So it's clearly a Wrestle Oops. Some of them can be. Some of them can be pretty convincing. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that post I saw was from Fightful, to confirm that. But like I said, Jonathan Coachman, to your credit, you were trying to give him a little bit of credit as well. Just he heard through a source,
reliable source.
It was a reliable source. Clearly not as much as it should have been, but. Yeah, the Coachman kind of going on a limb and saying Britt Baker for sure coming in soon, but. She's still got a little bit of time on her contract. I don't know if they're going to add any time for injury, but still.
If Tony wants to be a dick, he'll be a dick.
He could. He's got the power to.
He did it with Ray. He'll do it if he wants to. Here's my thing. I think both can be true. I think they may not be as close to signing her as Coachman was told, but I also think that she's on her way to WWE.
Oh, yeah, I think so,
and
too.
Negotiations have probably already started.
Yeah, that could be the case. And then I'll just quickly ask it now. Main roster right away, or was she getting the NXT treatment?
If she'd be one of the few, just because I know Triple H has a relationship with her that I think might just go main roster.
Okay.
They might do a Stephanie Vakir and Julia thing with her, where she's there for like a month.
Maybe, yeah.
And she proves to them that she can work it.
Yeah. And again, if anybody of these new hires, these new acquisitions, it's definitely been Stephanie Bakar, who they've just handled with kid gloves and properly and pushed her in all the right ways. They just put a rocket ship to her back and they just push and push and push her.
I don't know if I've ever wanted to be a female wrestler more in my entire life.
You just want that devil's kiss? Is that what it is?
I mean, who doesn't?
Tell me you didn't just say that. Well, still some other news, and like I said, well, hopefully Jonathan Coachman gets his sources all in the right way, and hopefully John Moxley calls the right lawyer. We'll get to him in just a second. But calling the right lawyer, because John Moxley apparently is getting sued by a cameraman for going off script and pushing him to the ground. I believe he hurt his neck and back. But that incident took place at the, John Moxley and Kenny Omega's steel cage match back in 2023.
Listen. So you're a wrestling cameraman.
Yeah. He doesn't take no bumps. He was not didn't land flat back apparently enough.
I'm just putting it out. No, here's the thing. At the end of the day, this is going to be settled out of court.
Yeah.
The assault charges will be dropped as soon as he gets his money. It's the end of the story.
Yeah.
Sucks. It sucks that he went off script and got himself in trouble, but that's Mox.
That is Mox. He was just getting excited. Clearly, maybe, like I said, maybe he thought there was a plant. There was no plant. Hopefully he didn't break that camera. Those cameras can be expensive. That could also be part of it, too, if he messed up the camera.
I think he just messed up the dude.
That could happen, too, for sure, without a doubt. Yeah, that's just a tough look overall. Yeah, it hurts. It sucks, but I'm sure, like I said, it'll get settled. I didn't see the tweet itself, but I already saw a couple things with Ricochet was tweeting about. A couple other people were they had to delete it, but he then also got into another back and forth with Jim Cornette about Ricochet did, not anybody else. Just kind of a back and forth on Twitter, which some people are like, oh, Jim Cornette slammed Ricochet. Not really. Like I said, the back and forth I saw was pretty mild between both of them, so I don't really think either one got a leg up on the other. Just an old man tweeting into the void. That's all it is. Again, if Ricochet's deleting tweets for anything, it's because he still has a job to worry about, Mr. Cornette. You don't really have to. You're self-employed, so you don't really have to worry about that. You can just continue to say all the things that you say.
The fact that man's not in the WWE Hall of Fame is a crime, too.
Yeah, on the managerial side, for sure, yeah. Probably a good photographer, too. I would have to see his work. Finally.
I'm just going to let you go because this is all you.
Man.
Watch yourself now.
I know. Cher almost broke. I could have called the Beast on that one. It could have been Nick's Illinois Media School after that fall, but no need because, man, oh man, what a summer of the Beast for sure. Summer of Mortos. What a week for the Beast Mortos. Am I right? What an amazing week. Becomes a lawyer. Passes the bar. Becomes a lawyer.
Why is he laughing about that? Because that to me,
I don't know. It's just a man just finally achieving such a hard goal, becoming a lawyer, achieving his dreams. It is revealed that he's dating Mercedes Moné from a post from her own personal account, and then of course it's revealed through TMZ. TMZ got the buzz, and then not only that, a 14-year CMLL shadow ban lifted after competing at Grand Slam Mexico. What the shadow ban was for, I don't recall. I have to look into it. There's been a couple of posts about it. I just didn't quite look into it. I was just so excited that the man.
Shadow ban?
Well, essentially, like he was just banned from like working at with CMLL and yeah, he was like blackball.
Blackball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So same thing. But man, oh man, this man, what trifecta? I hope he's no longer going to be jobbing. He's going to be wins from here on out for the Beast Mortos. Probably a world championship run. Probably the first AEW Grand Slam winner. Thoughts, questions, concerns on the summer of Beast, on the summer of Mortos.
Loved his gear.
Yeah.
Loved his gear on Wednesday. That was fantastic. I mean, other than that, is the lawyer thing real or are you
he's legitimately a lawyer.
That's cool. I'll just say this. He's got to be some kind of looker underneath that grotesque mask of his for Mercedes to go, me likey.
I know, right? That Beast, I guess that really spoke to her. Let's see. The Beast was the last-minute replacement in the main event in Grand Slam Mexico, replacing Claudio Castagnoli. Oh, I wonder why that happened.
Visa issues?
I don't know. Wrestled last in 2011. Fightful reports that Tony Khan personally went to Salvador Lamale, hopefully that's how he correctly said, and asked for permission to use Mortos. The company was forced to make changes. They weren't able to use Cash Wheeler and Claudio. CML said to be we're said to be very accommodating. Okay, very good. Again, that quote right here from 4Mania. This has been a very good month for Mortos, as he recently announced he has passed the bar to become a lawyer and is currently dating Mercedes Moné.
It's a great.
Oh my God!
It's a good thing.
I'm just like, I know.
Of all,
I'm trying to find why he was like banned, but I can't find.
Of all the people that Mercedes Moné could pick to like date, like she is a movie star / TV star, so there's that whole world that she could have picked from. There's the whole entire wrestling world that she could have picked from. And she
again, like you said, underneath that horrid there might be some beauty underneath that Beast mask.
I think it's a little bit of Beauty and the Beast.
I definitely could be.
I just love that TMZ used these pictures to announce it.
That's their intergender tag team name. Nick.
Oh, Harvey.
Nick.
Yeah.
That's their intergender tag team name.
Oh, man.
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, it could be. My goodness. Yeah. Yeah. I'll wear my other Beast Morto shirt next week. Like I said, they had that quick. It was very quick when.
I've never seen a dude get over with you so fast in my entire life.
I mean, he's the best. It's the best. No, well then you should have saw me with MJF when I saw him at All In. I'm like, who the hell? This is awesome.
Oh, I'll say this: MJF got me pretty quick when they were in. Was it the Battle Royal? And it was the wrestler with no legs.
Yeah.
And he
called Lieutenant Dan.
He legitimately goes, "How's that feel, Lieutenant Dan?" And I went, "Oh my God, that is great."
That's what kind of did it for me too.
Same minds, the irreverence of it all.
Yeah, that was good. So yeah, what a week there. Any other? Well, I guess not to put in the negative, but I can also just finish it up really quick with another one. Anything, not to get political, but anything on the Brody King abolish ICE T-shirt? Anything with that?
Don't care. It's your opinion, dude. Right. You're allowed to do it. If Tony Khan was cool with it, who cares?
That's kind of the case too. Where I don't think it's necessarily getting a ton of heat. Probably not behind the scenes.
I would almost guarantee most of them agree with him.
Yeah, I think the only counterpart would be fans saying, "Oh, I don't like this. I tune into wrestling to check out of politics and everything like that. I don't like I don't like politics mixed in with
Could have been a lot worse. People could have said nuke the world.
There you go. I'll give you that one. And then to go back into WWE really quick, Charlotte Flair calling Chicago the worst wrestling city. What the hell's up with that?
She's entitled to her opinion. She's wrong. But.
Yeah, exactly. Because we don't subscribe to her.
And the fact that she wouldn't give a reason, that's just a punk-ass way to do it, Charlotte.
Well, we should already know why. That's the reason.
They know why.
We know why.
Screw you.
Exactly. Well, when we
have a
return,
drink with your dad.
Yikers. Well, hopefully he's get. I know he. Well, I don't know if you even touched upon that either. That one of those things where you would hear the Curb Your Enthusiasm music afterward. He jokingly said to Jim Ross, like, "Oh, you're attention seeking," because he was talking about his cancer. Like, "Oh, my cancer treatment was fine." And then a couple days later, he gets diagnosed with skin cancer. Ric Flair.
It's called karma.
Bad Karma Wrestling every Friday.
It's called karma. Listen, and I'll be very honest with you. Quick shout out. Hulk, I hope you recover.
Yeah, some people were.
He's in bad shape.
Yeah, apparently so.
He's not out of the woods.
No, but it wasn't like he was gonna die like people.
He had neck surgery and there were severe complications. Like, it's not good, people. And we already had. Like, it comes in threes. Celebrity deaths come in threes. And Amberell passed away very suddenly from the Food Network. So there's 2 more coming sometime in the near future.
It's either, I forgot who did that joke, but it's like, I don't know if it comes in threes or if we're lazy and we stop counting after 3. But it could be something like that. I forgot who said that. But there you have it, folks. Bad Karma Wrestling. We'll be returning with Scotty's World. We're giving some compliments here on Bad Karma Wrestling. We'll be back.
Hey, watch your mouth. Wine. I'll just put a quarter in the swear jar. Once it's filled, we get a Coors party after work.
I've been drinking Coors since my college days. Cold draft taste, second to none.
Yeah, worth the recorder, am I right?
You know it, mother.
Hey, you get those reports done?
Yeah. No. You, sir. Attention, employees.
The staff meeting, scheduled for this evening, will now be held tomorrow early as
Who's all? Dudes, we're only 75 cents short. Oh, shh. The boss. Hey, sir, go yourself. You're fired! Yeah! Oh, look at you.
The Chicagoland area has a large number of lonely dogs currently filling shelter pens, just waiting to find a family. Nothing adds warmth to a home like a wagging tail and a warm pair of brown eyes. If you are considering adding a dog to your household, visit the Anderson Animal Shelter, where adoption counselors can assist you in selecting your new best friend. Make your house a home. Adopt a shelter dog. To see a current list of adoptees, visit their website at www.andersonanimalshelter.org or meet them in person at 1000 South LaFox Street in South Elgin. Don't have room in the home for a new furry family member? Donations of toys, collars, and soft or hard non-perishable dog food are always accepted and are greatly appreciated. All animals are spayed or neutered and are waiting with tails wagging to find a loving home. Visit 1000 South LaFox Street in South Elgin or www.andersonanimalshelter.org for more details.
This is Bad Karma Wrestling
Give me a hell yeah.
with No Gimmick Nick Johnston
It doesn't matter how you feel.
and David Double D Dykstra.
What are we doing? I
We're supposed to be
speak
giving
and they
compliments.
don't understand the words that are coming. I feel like Jackie Chan. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Good God.
Back home wrestling in the building, ready to rock and roll.
Every time.
No gimmicks, Nick Johnston. Double D, David Dykstra to my right.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
We're in Scotty's world now. A little agitated is at least half of us, but the other on the other side of the table, we just joined us is Frankie. Hey, but we're giving compliments apparently. That's where I'm trying to stay positive. So Scotty.
So
What are we
obviously,
doing?
We throw in a lot of what other wrestlers say about the current state of professional wrestling, but sometimes some of the stories slip through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of a mix of quick roll up or, fight forever. I got a couple quotes from many different wrestlers about certain topics, some about other wrestlers, some about other companies. And I just want to get your guys' quick opinions on them.
All right, shoot.
So real quickly, this one came out this week. Obviously this guy is always talking about the current state of the WWE, Rikishi. But when he's not talking about his kids or anyone else in the bloodline, he's saying that he would not consider Charlotte Flair as one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time.
Really? Wow. Okay. Did he list off people that he did?
No, of course not.
So no bar of comparison to sit there.
I mean, let's be real. There's only one person that's better than her in the history of professional wrestling. I'd say Moolah.
Okay, yeah, in terms of name bearing or how
Recognition,
name recognition,
length of
yeah.
title reign. Granted, there weren't as many women back then. I get that. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.
Of course, now gets a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth with all the
The accusations.
Yeah, the Dark Side
Or-
of the Ring episode
yeah,
and everything.
That wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look.
Speaking of which, you brought it up real quick. I just want to say, phenomenally well done with Daphne. The
Yeah,
Daphne
that was nice,
Dark Side.
yeah.
And the Mustafa.
Muhammad
Or the
Hassan.
Muhammad.
That one was those last two episodes were pretty solid overall. Nice way to kind
Brought
of
in a lot of insight.
Yeah.
And to see what he's doing now is awesome.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I mean, he used to be a principal, from what I understand too.
He still is.
Okay, cool.
Or no, he's the director of the school district or something.
Yeah,
like
something
that.
along those lines. And I don't think we got to it. Or I don't think I ever asked you. Is that one really made me question this? Bring up this whole question. It really made me think. Is that the most controversial, quickest run in wrestling history? Like, he only had those 2 years, and that was it. Never saw him before. Didn't have a character before that in WWE. Didn't have a character after. Was just done.
My favorite quote from that whole show is Jim Cornette going, "What are we doing?
Yeah.
He's an Italian from Syracuse."
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can't remember a guy that got a push like him and then just disappeared.
Yeah, exactly. Like to the point where just like no one even was like, all right, yeah, he's just gone, and that's
moving
it.
on. Yeah, no
that's it.
mention, no nothing. So,
And then they all even brought it up in that very end thing too. It was just like, does Vince McMahon owe him anything? Does he owe really anybody anything? Like that was the length of his contract. That was it.
yeah.
So yeah,
but getting back,
Yeah.
I would challenge that very much so.
yeah. I don't know. Rikishi's kind of been
I might
on
put her and Becky on the same plane, but Moolah above them, just longevity and things like that.
Yeah, that could be the case.
But Becky did take the women's division to a whole different level.
That's true.
So
Rikishi's kind of been also on a roll of just like saying a lot of
you
stuff.
just mad that Tamina and your son's wife ain't doing squat. Well, now she is because she got Money in the Bank.
What did you see? Her briefcase too. You see what's in there? A couple candies, a Jimmy Uso figure, probably for some fun, and then what? Playing with your action figures is cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait. Honestly, one of the reasons I can't wait to have a child, so I can eventually bring up the wrestling figures back out and have some pay-per-views again. Like you're booking it wrong. He would never do that. We can't just do chair shot storylines.
Horrible booking.
Dad, I'm 4. I don't care. It's horrible booking.
Horrible booking.
Yeah.
Who are you, Vince Russo?
Yeah.
Oh.
He-Man as your Intercontinental Champion? Really? Really? Is that what we're doing? Who's going to come in? Who's going to save the day? G.I. Joe? All right, fine. Whatever. All right, fine. Sorry.
No. Panthro.
Yeah. Oh, man. All righty. What are we at next, Scotty? I'm all over the place.
We'll kick it to one of your favorites, Nick, but about a person you really, really despise. In
Sure.
wrestling. MJF, when speaking on The Miz, called him one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Now, granted, it is MJF.
Yeah.
But I saw this from multiple sources that he did say this. So I'm starting to think he maybe just meant it and wasn't trying to just stay in character.
I'm not going to sit there and I definitely don't agree. He's definitely not one of the greatest wrestlers. He's a good talker. He's definitely made me hate him for all different reasons.
Question.
Sure.
Just are you talking specific just to wrestle, like wrestler, or are you talking whole package?
Like I said, in-ring ability, subpar to bad.
Okay, that's that I will say.
Like I said, in terms of being
he's below average.
In terms of being a oh man, he's a heel that I want to punch in the face, and that's because he does a good job of just being like
punchable in the face.
Yeah, just being like so snarky and like just being the way that he is. Like that's I'll give him kudos there. Exactly, great talker. I even like him. I like his current role of what he's doing, where if he's going to be on Raw or on SmackDown, it's very quick for an introductory thing, quick job match.
Oh, he gone for now.
Exactly that, and then he'll be almost like you'll see him on the Rich Eisen show, or he'll pop up on ESPN from time to time.
He's great for those things. Yeah.
Maybe if they go to Ohio State or whatever, and they college game day, and he's there. That's fine. I think he's a good. Like I said, great speaker and a good representation for WWE in that sense, in that way. But like I said, no reason to put a title on him. No reason to have him in a serious storyline at this point anymore. Miz has done his time.
All I will say.
Don't
All I will say.
No, put that shove that up your
storyline.
Shove that up your eye.
He's one of two-time grand champions.
That means nothing to me. You know that means nothing to me.
I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. And before Dominic, he was the litmus test.
Exactly. He kind of went back to it. So, yeah. Alrighty.
I'm not saying he's one of the GOATs, but I'm saying people need to give Miz, coming from where he was to what he became, did damn good.
There you go.
Well, even though during the week JBL was absolutely trashing Mexico, he did make a comment on Mr. Iguana, who is saying, "I love Mr. Iguana. He's so funny." He said that kid's awesome. He's so funny, and he responded very enthusiastically to his recent stuff on Worlds Collide.
Again, I'm glad you muted Wrestle Oops. Maybe not in time for that one. Go ahead.
Can he just stay in Puerto Rico and never open up
this
his mouth
heat on JBL lately is kind of out of nowhere.
I haven't liked him since he cost Mario. Or More.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mauro Ranallo. The
Since-
commentator.
Ever since he bullied him out of the WWE, I've lost so much respect for him.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That was a tough one for sure. Again, exactly, because bullied into submission. Because he's a little bit of a head case, but it's been brutal. I've not been fairly entertained. He's kind of holding on to that last little stretch. But yeah, I guess he likes Mr. Iguana.
It's time to ride. Listen, turn it to the close sign on the APA door. Ride off into the sunset, you stupid cowboy.
Does he clothesline from hell, the iguana?
That would be funny.
That would be pretty good. The iguana already experienced the Spanish fly, so we'll see if the iguana will
and elbow drops.
Yeah. What else? Any more?
So a couple more. Becky Lynch actually made a comment on AEW a little while back, saying that she doesn't view it as a competition, but more as an alternative, as they're very different from each other. And she also keeps up with AEW programming, so she knows what's going on and how she can improve.
Okay.
100% agree.
Yeah, exactly.
100% agree.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't think that was the goal, to be exactly that. They've said that from the get-go.
The alternative. Yep.
Not necessarily competition. Will it be nice? Sure. But again, this is a 6-year company going up against a conglomerate that is the WWE. So that is that. Again, I think Ricochet went on a little bit. He's been pretty good on tweets. He was kind of making this point, and went over some heads. He goes, "Man, you know what? I'm gonna go get a burger. I'm gonna go get the best burger because it sells so many, so it has to be the best burger. I'm gonna go get a Big Mac from McDonald's because again, it has to be the best burger. It gets the most numbers." So they were, in that sense. But like I said, I would have to agree with what Becky Lynch said there. It is the alternative. The alternative.
I like that you brought up Ricochet.
Ooh.
I actually got something from him.
Ooh, nice little that's what we call a transition, folks.
After winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royale and then not really getting booked like 2 weeks later, he commented on people complaining about Carmelo Hayes and basically said that he works for WWE. That is the prize. That's the reward. It shouldn't that be enough? He works for the biggest promotion in the world. They make the most money and get the most views. Shouldn't that be enough? What else does he want more? It sounds selfish to me.
Yeah,
Although,
again,
to be fair, it wasn't really Carmelo complaining. It was his fans complaining about it.
Yeah, again, if it coming from Ricochet like that kind, it's borders the line of probably some truth and probably just him working his character. Again, exactly that. We're like, oh yeah, isn't that it should be enough? WWE is the prize. Having your WrestleMania moment, that's what everyone wants. That's what it should all be about. Isn't he selfish for wanting a proper title run or a push or this and that? Man, he's a man. Oh man, what not a good company guy is. I think that's what Ricochet is tweeting. Go ahead.
If it's such a prize, why did you leave to go to AEW?
Again, I think it's a work.
I know it's a work.
It's blurring the lines of it.
But
and like you said, there's some truth to it. And again,
that would be my response to him on Twitter. If it was such a prize, why'd you leave?
Yeah, exactly.
And again, he wasn't commenting to Carmelo. He was commenting on fans
I get
complaining.
He's been again, that's been that's what he's been doing lately. He's kind of replying to all the trolls, doing what he can, doing some just doing a little bit of damage control on that end.
Killing?
Yeah. Taking them outside, taking them out back, and just taking care of some business.
I like troll shooting.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Anything else? Any other last
one
couple?
quick one?
Okay.
John Cena believes. He says that Joe Hendry will be a major player in the future for pro wrestling, and then Nick's just confused on who he is still.
Yeah, because Joe Hendry's a yes man. He just do anything.
To me, it's gonna have to change.
How so?
Because listen, you can only do the shtick for so long. Wrestling is about evolution, evolving characters. It's why Chris Jericho is on the Mount Rushmore. That man has done so many gimmicks and gotten them over. Listen, I sat here, a year ago and said there's no way I'm going to be down for this learning tree crap. And it got over, and I liked it, and I freaking hate that I liked it. But that was Chris. There's only so many times you can go, I believe in Joe Hendry. 2-3 years down the road, whether it be a new song or something else to that nature, He's got to grow. The fact that Randy handpicked him to be his surprise opponent says a lot of what the guys in WWE think of him, though. They see something there.
Yeah.
John sees something. So I'm not going to put it past it, but I think there has to be an evolution to the character.
And if there is, like I said, I'll see how that evolution changes. But as of right now, I'm kind of already on that side of like, all right, clapping, songs. Okay, cool. Anything else? No, just going to job on the biggest stage of them all and cut and say that. Oh, that was what I was supposed to do. Well, there you go. I'll leave it at that. So there you go. Give him compliments. That's what we were doing here. Good smile. He has a good smile. I'll leave it off on a nice note.
He makes great songs.
Yeah, that he does.
His diss tracks are awesome.
That he does. And you can make some good songs over here at IMS, at Illinois Media School.
There you go.
Want to hop in one of those studios, always take a tour. Make your own show, create one here over on our sportstownchicago.com, over on our Be On Edge. You can do all that stuff too. So hop on down. And if we're good to go here, anything else? Any final thoughts, questions, concerns before we head on out of here?
Mexico is great.
Yeah. Viva la Mexico.
Viva
right
la
now.
Mexico.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
What if Goldberg wins and Seth Rollins cashes in?
I quit watching professional wrestling. I quit. No, scratch
he
that.
wins and
I
then it's
stopped
cash
watching
in?
WWE.
Yeah, that would be the case.
And I will be totally Nick's compadre in trashing everything WWE.
This would be a very AEW heavy show for
really long time. No, because it's not going to happen. Seth, first off, if you're going to do that, Goldberg's going to be just fine. It's going to go down, if he wins, it's going to go down just like the Brock Lesnar match did, where he spears him twice, puts him up, throws him over, 1, 2, 3, and Goldberg hasn't even broken a sweat. Seth ain't coming out to cash in with Goldberg like, I'm still the man.
This has just got disaster written all over it. And like I said, man, this is tough to go all the way back to the beginning. I mean, this is
how John Cena
nothing redeeming.
Do you know how John Cena ruins wrestling?
Go for it.
No. Listen, I've kind of got an idea. John Cena's last match of his tour, he retains the title. And then Seth Rollins comes and cashes in on John Cena to continue wrestling is going to be ruined by me now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I could see if they're going to really finish off with face or heel Cena as the way that he goes out. I think we're also on the agreement that he's probably going to turn back somehow, some way to face before it's all said
and
done.
even if he wins as a face, that makes it even better.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it, so now I'm going to.
Okay. Yeah, that could be the case, too.
That's all I got.
Yeah. All right.
Very lackluster week in professional wrestling, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I had something else on the brain, but I'm going to wait and see how tonight plays out, because tonight's SmackDown will...
Are you talking about the Killings match?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of on that, just kind of on Punky in general. We'll see how... like I said, that'll only happen if Scotty's prediction comes true in any sort of way, if Punk gets his fingerprints on it. So yeah, there we go. Who? What?
No.
If you think the pipe bomb's happening, yeah.
That can never be recreated, ever.
If I had a nickel for every time that Punk did a callback to himself or Bret Hart, I probably would have the same amount of money as his Saudi Arabia blood money check.
Hey, by the way, did you hear AJ Lee's coming back for Evolution 2?
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. Here's me holding my breath on that one. We'll see you next week, folks. I'm going to keep holding my breath.
This is Bad Karma Wrestling.
Give me a hell yeah.
With no gimmick Nick Johnston.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
And David Double D Dykstra.